this is Senema.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at the Granja Deluxe Master Set, which is on Kickstarter right now. You can get it over on Kickstarter.com, searching for La Granja. You will find this. This is from Board and Dice. It's basically a kind of second edition deluxe version of the game that you can see right over there.
Yes, this is the original. No.
Yes, it is. It is the original La Granja, a game by Ode and Mike, and this is the big version. As you can see, it's bigger for different reasons. We are in this video just going to go through some of the the differences between the versions of the game, and tell you why you might or might not want to back this.
Yes, basically.
First of all, basically, is the game good?
Yes.
Yes.
It's very good.
It is. So first point is, if you don't own this and you would like to play La Granja, then you should back this on Kickstarter.
If you would like to play a good game,
yes,
then
because
you should play.
La Granja is a very good game. I really enjoy it. It's not going to be like... So we could do a review of La Granja now, because the base game of La Granja in here is the same as the base game in there.
Yes.
So what are the changes of the base game? The components.
Yes. First of all, it looks amazing, and the component has been through a very, very good upgrade.
Should we open it up
and
just take a look? Do you want to open that up as well? Then we can see the differentiations of the things. Of course, as you know, this is a prototype, so everything in here is prototype components. Let's take a look at the player boards.
Yes.
This is the player board from the Deluxe Master Set, and that is the player board. So it's a bit bigger. It's not that. Maybe this way it makes more sense.
It's like, yeah.
It's a bit bigger, but not like in a way that will make it harder.
And it's also, this is like plain, but this is triple layer player boards.
Yes, and this is a game where
you can't really show it.
You like could, but it doesn't look that good. It's a prototype. It doesn't look good for a prototype.
Oh yeah,
basically, all of these games have slide cards. It's really nice to have these double layers, so you actually have a space to slide in the card. That is a very nice thing. Also, you have then this double layers thing for some of them, not for everything, but for some of the places where you put something, which is income throughout the game. You have some double layer things. Those are like these are the board just looks different. We don't need to show that. You can see pictures of it.
Yes,
and then you have all of the different components, which is now have shapes. This is the same components?
Oh, this is roofs and
there's a lot of different. Yeah, they
some
are.
bonuses.
So basically,
some of the squares are this last one
is now this. So those are all this size. So those are just like, it doesn't change the gameplay at all.
No.
None of the components change the gameplay at all. So if you just don't like, I like how the original looked, but I do like better how this one looks.
Yes.
Like the artwork is more pleasant, and I do feel that is important for me. I feel like it's very clear, even though it's a lot of more artwork. Especially on the cards, like all of the symbols are still, because there's lots of information on the cards. On these older cards, there are basically just a plain background, and everything just pops out to you, and I think that they managed to do that very well as well in the new one.
Yeah, they didn't fall in the Cultures of Burgundy second edition trap.
Making it more art over clarity.
Yes.
And so everything is like, it's bigger. Like
better,
if you
stronger,
and basically
faster.
Like if you just want smaller, then you would want to buy the old edition. But other than that, like it's more artwork, better artwork, and more stuff. It feels like a more modern board game, This is more like a classic Euro game. I do love how this feels, but this looks better. So
they have some modules added as well, so that is like changing up the gameplay a little bit. If you want to, you can add as many or as few as you want.
Yeah, down to 0 and up to many.
Yes, up to many.
Yes, there are some of the campaign now. I think there's there might be more that's coming out. I do not know all of the details. The thing, like, so the first reason to either buy or not buy the game was if you think the game is good and you don't own it.
Yes.
So if you do own the game, then of course it's like two reasons. Reason number one then is if you think that this looks better It is bigger, so it does take more space on your shelf. It does take more space on the table. That is always something that you have to consider.
Yeah.
But then, as you said, the other thing is the modules, because there's no expansions for La Granja. La Granja is going to be the same. Of course, you're going to be able to play it. It's an interactive game, so it's going to be different each time you play it.
Yes.
But in here, there's many modules, and they're not all made by Odie and Mike.
Oh, that's really cool. They even have Stefan Feld make one of the modules, which is really awesome. I don't remember all the other names, but I think it's really cool that all of these guys have gotten together and collaborated to make this game, I don't know, more interesting or better, or more more replayable.
Variety. Have more variety.
Yes.
I am a big fan of modules.
Yes.
Do you like modules?
I like modules.
I think modules is a great way to expand a game, because you can, in very small ways, change the gameplay.
Yes.
And also change up every time you play. It will be a different experience.
Yes.
Because you can mix and match all of these. Some of these modules just change like a tiny bit. Like we played with a module called Betwixt.
Yes.
Where we had cards between us. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I think that was cool. That wasn't like another place to deliver your goods, which was nice to have some more choice.
Yeah.
But you always have too few deliveries in this game.
Yeah.
But it's a little like majority between the players.
Yes.
The one who delivers the most gets to place a better place than the other.
Yeah, you get more points basically. So you have to deliver from your side.
Yeah.
So it's like different things you have to deliver on both sides. So it's kind of like a between two castles thing, where you like have this thing between you that you can use. We also played with player powers.
Oh, yeah.
I love player powers. Like, I feel like almost like very many first expansions for games have a player power module.
I like it, and I think the player powers that we used for our game was seemed balanced and not like too OP, didn't change the game too much, but gave you like a little edge on some specific things or some things that you wanted to focus on, which was nice.
Yeah, for example, I had a player power where I had an income of 1 coin every round, and then I could also, once per round, I could spend 1 victory point to get 4 more coins.
Yes.
So it's kind of like small things, but it will change up. Like that one was kind of like, it will not, general. It will not like, oh, I'm going to go for this thing now. But then I knew I could easier get goods, for example, because I could easier get money, so I could buy the goods.
Yes.
So I didn't spend that much time getting fields, or it was so important for me to draft the dice where you got the resources. That was really nice.
Yeah.
And we also played with the Stefan Feld module. What do you think about that one?
I like that one. You add some gray dice to the pool, and if you draft them, depending on which side of the module you play with, you either have to pay something extra, or you have to you can spend money to get an extra bonus. So that made some of the action spaces more lucrative.
Yeah.
Or because we played with the positive side.
Yeah.
But if you want to make the game more challenging, you can play with the negative side. So then people might avoid taking certain actions because they have to pay for it.
I really like that. And other modules as well are made kind of like, some of them are made to make the game a bit easier for new players, or just if you want a cozier time.
Yeah.
And some, like the smuggler version of the Stefan Feld, where you have to lose things every time you draft these dice, is going to make it harder and make it like more challenging and mean and horrible. There's many different modules. Like you, for example, have a module, we didn't get to play with it, but it's a module where you build buildings, which looked really, really nice. Yeah. Where you will build buildings on the on where you place your market stalls, basically, and then they have abilities. Cool. And when you activate the ability, the player who has like the majority of pieces around that building, and also on the village, like the, what is it called again, the stalls, the things around the circle. I don't remember the name.
No, I don't remember.
I'm horrible at remember those things. Also adds to that. So it's kind of like adds a majority thing to the game. So it will change up how you play the game and what buildings comes out and what abilities they have. So there's many different ways. And I think for me, personally, after playing with the modules, I would easily back this.
Yeah, I agree.
Before that, I would probably back it because I love things that are deluxe and I love things that looks good.
And we like La Granja in its base form.
It's a very good game. And I think that adding the modules is what makes this a Kickstarter that I would personally back.
Yeah, cool.
And that, like, because if it wasn't for that, then it would be my shallow side who would back it.
Yeah.
But I think that adding those, like, it's basically now a game with an expansion with loads of modules.
Yeah.
So it's like a game plus a full, pretty big expansion.
Yeah.
That will change up and make it much more variable, make it much more diverse, make it adding many things to the game.
Yes, I agree. I'm very pleased with the way that they have done this new edition, adding this new stuff to it as well. As I'm very positive.
Yeah, I would love to go back and play the rest of the modules because it was a lot of fun to actually play them. And of course, we don't know, like, the ones we played were really fun and added like small touches to the game that was great. I can't say that about the rest. Probably other channels have played other modules, so you can go and check that out. But I think that so far what we have seen in this game is enough for me to back it. I can't tell you to back it. You have to decide depending on, of course, do you own the old one? Do you like the addition of the modules and the new artwork and components? If you own the old one and you feel like, oh, this game is perfect, I don't need anything else, then you don't need to back it. But if you feel like you would like something more added to it, or if you just think that this looks great, then of course
especially the back
is not going to look like
amazing.
That probably, then I think you should go and check it out.
Yes, I
agree. I
agree.
think that is some information about La Granja.
Yes.
And that means that this is the end of this video. If you are still here and you have not subscribed, you can do so now by
clicking the subscribe button. It's fun and it's free and it makes us happy. Like this. If you want to do something that's not free, you can.
Go to patreon.com/boardgamingramblings and support us there. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.